I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
Yo, check this out. Everybody lost it when news broke that 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found dead in a Tesla, and folks blamed David right away. But the feds just shared new proof that clears David and even named someone new, which flips the whole story. And here is the part people missed online. A bunch of wrong posts and fake claims spread fast saying David was guilty and showing shady pics without facts. While the real evidence shows the car was left for weeks, the body was found in the frunk at a Hollywood tow yard, and it took 9 days with dental records, DNA, and a small tattoo to confirm it. And also, David was on tour with shows and receipts. So the internet jumped to the wrong story, and now the new name from investigators makes you see how quick lies took over the truth. Okay, so here's the tea about Celeste. Because her story is honestly so sad and messy in ways people totally ignored. She went missing back in April 2024 when she was just 13, but that wasn't even her first time running away. She had done it a few times before, and her house had cops showing up again and again, like 11 times that year. Her ex even said she had a rough home life and was going through a lot more than anyone online ever knew. But of course, the internet jumped fast, saw some matching tattoos, some old pics, and that leaked song called Celeste, and boom, everybody screamed guilty without even waiting for the truth. But when the cops spoke, they said, yeah, the body was found in David's Tesla, but they still don't know if he actually did anything wrong besides maybe someone hiding the body. And that's huge, because even after all the digging, David's not a suspect, not arrested, and he's been helping police the whole time, even while he's still out doing his tour. So listen, the wildest part came when a forensic expert doctor, Amy Santoro, said Celeste might have died from a drug overdose, because there were no signs of trauma. And if tests prove that, then David can't be charged for murder since it's not homicide. The examiner also said her body was too decomposed to tell much. And the internet calling it murder got it all twisted. Even a defense lawyer said there's no real proof, just gossip about tattoos, pics, and a leaked song. And while Celeste's mom did say she mentioned a David, the manager, said he knew nothing, and the tour timeline doesn't even match. So all that online drama might just be blaming the wrong guy. Okay, so get this. The Tesla had been sitting abandoned in the Hollywood Hills for like 3 weeks before it got towed. And during that whole time, David was out touring in different cities. Neighbors even said the car had been there since mid-August, which matches how long Celeste had already been gone, so clearly something's off, because other people could have used that car and not just him. The cops later searched a house his manager was renting for like 20 grand a month looking for any blood or clues, and they even took a laptop. But the crazy part is right after that raid, the manager ended the lease and moved out fast, which got everyone talking like what really went down in that house and who else had access to that car. So check it when the lease was signed, everything was chill. But after the raid, the manager left quick, and people online thought he was hiding something. But let's be real, if cops just searched your place and the media outside, you'd dip too. The house had cameras, but no one could get the footage without permission. And since Celeste's body was so decomposed, the expert doctor Amy Santoro said it looked more like a drug overdose than murder, turning the whole thing into a sad accident, not some big crime.
Michael, a situation that you actually caught us up on last week involving the pop singer David and Celeste Rivas, who's this 17-year-old, and her body was discovered, if memory serves, in the trunk of a Tesla that was found in a rental car lot in California.
Yeah, and even more tragic, she was 15 now, and when she went missing, she was only 13 years old. She went missing in April of 2024.
So listen, the fact that Celeste's body showed no signs of trauma is huge. Because real murder cases always leave marks like strangling bruises or stab wounds. But here, there was nothing. And tests still waiting on tox results. So this could be way different from what people online made up. And when you look at her past, it makes more sense. She ran away a bunch of times, had cops at her house a lot, and dealt with family drama. So she might have ended up in a bad spot by accident, not some planned crime. Even a private investigator said her family family once emailed David's team when she went missing. Then she came back next day, but the manager said he never saw that message, which shows how messy rumors get, and people online even twisted David's old song, Romantic Homicide, thinking it was a confession when he already said it was just music, not real life.
So what inspired the hook, In the Back of My Mind You Died, is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like it's their past selves that's dying, and they're not even crying about it because they're evolved or become better people or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful.
Okay, so get this, before everyone started spinning wild theories, that song folks keep talking about was actually released in July 2022, way before Celeste disappeared. And that whole birthday rumor was just made up. But even after it got debunked, David still paid the price. He had to cancel big shows in Seattle, San Francisco, and lost deals with Crocs and Hollister and streaming sites. Suan stopped promoting his tracks, but a few creators online like Jason Lewine and Leewig still spoke up, saying the internet messed this one up by turning lies into headlines.
The background reports have emerged that D4 paused his ongoing tour after a woman's body, later identified as a 15-year-old, was found inside a Tesla registered to his name. TMZ reported that the victim and the singer shared the same tattoo, Shush, on the same finger.
He was obsessed with the victim, wrote songs about her, had matching tattoos and tons of pics together. She was still a
So here's how messy things got. Even people who tried to defend David, like Jason, got dragged when new details popped up, and then Rain stepped in saying, it's fine to back your friend before all the facts drop, but not after real proof shows, otherwise then the Tesla became the main focus, because it had cameras and data that record everything. And folks said, no way someone would do something like that in a car that tracks it all. So cops should figure it out easy. By September and October, things started clearing up, and it looked less like murder and more like a sad overdose from a teen with a tough past. The expert, Dr. Amy Santoro, kept saying, tests point to drugs, not violence, and the lack of wounds and how long the body was left just backed that up. Plus, David was on tour the whole time, and that Tesla could be used by others. So maybe someone else moved her body, or she used the car herself and something tragic happened while he was gone. The police even said clearly, someone put her in the trunk, but they don't know who or why. And that's not the same as murder. The wildest part, though, is old footage showed Celeste back home a year before she was found, which proves her story wasn't simple, and all the internet rumors got the whole thing twisted.
But was she still really missing without a trace all that time? The other day, TMZ acquired some video of Celeste in her parents' backyard, and it was dated September 8th, 2024. That date is so significant for a couple of reasons. First off, it's 5 months after she supposedly disappeared for the last time. And what's more sad is that it is one day after her 14th birthday, which makes me think maybe Celeste came home for her birthday. Her birthday's on September 7th. This video's on September 8th.
So get this, Ashley Banfield's report showed cops went to Celeste's house like 11 times in a year, even 3 times on one day when she was seen running near a liquor store, which just shows how much she was struggling. And then people thought her parents had left the country, but new records proved they were living in the US legally since way back. And neighbors said they used to argue over custody, but there was no sign of a breakup. So what really comes out is this sad story of a family going through hard times and a young girl trying to get away from it all, which makes what happened even sadder, because it feels less like some evil plan and more like a heartbreaking mess that just kept getting worse. So here's the truth. Celeste really deserved a better life than the chaos she got stuck in. And now that experts think it was a drug overdose, it changes everything because without proof of murder, no one can be charged for homicide, maybe for hiding the body. But even that's hard to pin on someone when the car was used by different people. David keeps saying he didn't know anything and has been helping the cops the whole time. People online also brought up those old Discord chats saying he talked to her years ago, but the police never proved they were real or charged him with anything. And by late October, no case was filed. Still, his career's been wrecked. Tours canceled, deals gone. And even if he's cleared, this whole mess gonna stay tied to his name forever. So, real talk. This whole thing just shows how fast people online jump to blame without knowing the full story. Like everybody wants someone to point fingers at, but life is not always that simple. Experts even said there's no real proof David did anything wrong, and the cops never once called him a suspect, which means they knew. Early, the story didn't add up, but the internet still made its own movie out of half facts and gossip, and now look what happened. A young girl with a hard past who kept running from pain ended up gone. Her body left in a car while the world argued over tweets. Her family heartbroken, trying to raise money for her funeral through GoFundMe, while folks in her neighborhood lit candles and talked about how kind and shy she was. It's one of those things that hits you because it's not just about guilt or innocence. It's about how fast we forget there are real people behind these stories and how sometimes the truth gets buried under all the noise. You ever notice how fast the internet turns into a courtroom? Like people see one tweet or one TikTok and boom, they already picked the villain. But if you look close, this whole case is way more tangled than it looks. The actual reports, the timelines, and the forensic stuff don't match up with the wild murder stories flying around online. Dr. Amy Santoro even said it could take weeks before we hear anything official. And when those charges, if they even happen, finally drop, they might be totally different from what everyone's been guessing. This whole mess just proves how easy it is for social media to twist things. One post spreads, then everyone's sure they know the truth, when in reality, we all still guessing, and that's dangerous cause innocent till proven guilty is supposed to protect people. But online, it's like that rule disappeared and the damage gets done before the truth even comes out. The coroner's toxicology results still hold the real answers. Until those come in, all this talk is just speculation. Like, for real, it's sad how quick people are to turn a tragedy into entertainment, forgetting that behind every theory there's a real family hurting a real kid gone too soon and a whole community left trying to make sense of it all. And if you want to keep up with all the real stories behind the headlines and not the fake drama the internet cooks up, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and join the fam at Taylor. Hells all, we spill the truth, we break the rumors, and we keep it 100 every single time. So don't miss out, fam. Turn on the bell too, so you never miss when I drop the next wild update.